Welcome to the D Post Sports Extra. I'm Ed Owens, joined here by Eric Bailey from the Tulsa World. Eric, thanks for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk a little OU football here. So to get started, the end of last season, Oklahoma finished with a bang. Obviously had a really successful year and then closed it out on top of everything else with a Sugar Bowl win against Alabama. So if we could start there, what that win meant. Obviously, Oklahoma's won a lot of big games, but it seems like that one, momentum-wise, carrying into this season, meant a lot to these guys.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the Alabama win. They won at Kansas State. They went to Oklahoma State and won the last second to earn that BCS Bowl, and then they beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns. A lot of momentum created toward the latter part of the season. It was at a point, too, when you just wondered, because they had just lost to Baylor, how were they going to end their season? And they finished strong, and it helped in recruiting. It helped in momentum and confidence, and I think, we see the preseason poll, they're picked number 1 in the Big 12. I really think that thrust them into that position they're at now.
For a guy like Trevor Knight also, he had a star-making game. What has that meant for him, his development? What did you see from him from last season to this, where going into last year, he was fighting for that starting job, and now he's the man?
Last year at this time, he wasn't even thought of when we had media day. We didn't know if he was going to be a quarterback. Everyone assumed Blake Bell was going to be the guy. Trevor has said himself that going into this fall camp, knowing that he is the guy, doesn't have to overlook or look over his shoulder. He really feels comfortable and confident. And it's yet to be seen what kind of quarterback he's going to be, because he's only been in 8 games. He's only played 8 games, only has 5 starts. Granted, his 3 best games were the 3 of last year, so I think that'll really help him and help his development. And if you just saw him today at media day, he really has a good composure. He's excited. He's thrilled to be the quarterback, and he knows there's work to be done.
All right, switching gears a little bit to the defensive side of the ball. Defense was huge for Oklahoma last year. They really kind of got back on track, got back to some hard-hitting defense, and it carried them. Heading into this year, they're bringing back the bulk of that defense. And what have you seen out of them, and what do they really have to replace to keep that momentum going?
Well, I think they have a lot of great parts. I think a big part of it is defensive coordinator Mike Stoops is in his 3rd season. They changed to a 3-man front last year, and they really adjusted as the season went on. And, they don't lose a lot off this year's defense. They lose a cornerback in Aaron Colvin that they're going to really miss. Other than that, you look at across the board, they have some great players: Eric Stryker, Geno Grissom, Charles Tapper. They have a lot of talent on that defense. And I think as a unit, they're really going to have success. I don't know if you could say these guys are full of it. This team is filled with individual stars. There's some great players, but I think as a unit, that's where they're going to bring out. That's what's going to bring out the best in them.
All right, to complete the trifecta here, special teams wise, Michael Honeycutt's coming back, all Big 12 kicker. A lot of expectations for him. What does he mean as an offensive weapon, and how much can he shorten the field for OU?
I think he's someone that they really count on. He's just 40 points from being Oklahoma's all-time leading scorer, which is a really big thing at a school like Oklahoma. Has played a lot of football. Very dependable. Hit a big 47-yard field goal against Alabama in the Sugar Bowl when they needed a field goal. Very dependable inside of 40 yards. Could be a first-team All-American this year if he has the season he's had the last couple years. So I think he's someone that they can really count on, depend on.
All right, and heading into camp now. Camp is just about a week away. So what is the biggest question facing OU football as camp kicks off?
I think there's a couple. I think the big one may be, just developing skill players. I mean, they have some young talent at wide receiver, young talent at running back. It's just finding out who's going to be the guy. Running back, this is the first time in the Bob Stoops era they don't have a junior or senior running back. They're all freshmen and sophomores. So they need to develop and find someone there. Wide receiver, Sterling Shepard had 7 touchdown catches last year, but only 2 other players had a touchdown catch at return. One of them's the kicker on a fake field goal. So they need to find some playmakers on the outside too. I think other than that, once you get that chemistry built, I think they're going to have some pretty good success this season.
Okay, and one last one for you. I don't know if you're a prediction guy, if you want to throw a number out there, but obviously there's big expectations. Preseason number 1. What do you expect out of this Sooner football team heading into the year? Do you think that they can capture that Big 12 title, and what do you anticipate?
The way the schedule plays out with all the home games, they're home against Baylor, home against Oklahoma State. All the big games are home. They do have to go to West Virginia in September. They go to Texas Tech in November. But outside of those 2 games, there's really not a lot of pressure on the road. So I really think that this is a chance where they can really debut in that college football playoff. I think that if they play to their potential, I really think there's a good chance they'll be one of the 4 teams in the playoff.
All right, great. Eric, thank you for taking your time. You can check out Eric's stuff in the Tulsa World, and all season long you can continue following your Mountaineers on thedpost.com. Check back for more videos. Thanks for joining us.